Toodles, I went Toodles, hey Toodles, it is Tuesday, and it's time to read Out of the Greatest You. I'm sorry I did not read Out of the Greatest You last week. I was trying to clean and reorganize my room, but the way I was going to rearrange it did not happen, and I did a different way, but there are pictures on my Instagram, and you can see that. And other than that, you'll have to wait until I do my updated makeup collection video in May to see my beauty room and what I did. But other than that, let's get into giving yourself some tools. Okay. I'm just trying to see. Okay. Let's not make this that long. So what exactly do you mean by protecting your peace? What I mean is following yourself to enter the day with the experience genuine happiness to be alive. Always start the day by thanking God. And though I know that might not be your thing, my hike makes me feel great about the beauty of nature. The world around me and my place in it, but I use a bunch of different techniques to protect my peace, including walking around the neighborhood, working out, and yoga. I even had this thing where I used to start every day by dunking a basketball, but that was before I got rid of the basketball goal at our house. Also, to be honest, it was a 7-foot goal, not a 10-foot goal. I mean, I'm a good athlete, but dunking at restriction highs is hard. All of this stuff allowed me to feel the beginning of my day with the goodness and the strong sense of prerogative. It's much easier to feel like you're going to win the day when you start with some winning. For me, I get up every morning. I stretch in bed for a second, go to the bathroom. If it's too early for me to get up, I go back to bed. If it ain't, I usually get up, take my vitamins, my morning routine, and do my morning routine. And then what de-stresses me sometimes is when I play Candy Crush Soda Pop, but sometimes I get pissed off at the game too. So I play that in the mornings while I'm eating my breakfast. So I can get my day started by de-stressing a little bit, but okay. Now, none of the things I do to protect my peace might be the right thing for you. So let's go over the basics. What you're looking for in a routine that often you a stress-free experience and making you feel good about yourself. About your life and your situation. Maybe it's going to be some exercise. Maybe it's making a nice breakfast. Maybe it's listening to some uplifting music, or picking up a guitar and stringing a few chords. There are people I know who start the day by working on a professional project. Some carpentries or writing, for example, and they say that the hour or so that's spent then through the entire day, even if they find their job boring or satisfying. There are so many ways to go with this, and as far as I can see, there's only two real conditions. The first is that it has to be something that's always making you feel good about what you're doing, and it's about yourself. If you have a hobby you love and you always find yourself getting into the zone when you're doing a great, however, if you However, if that hobby sometimes frustrates you, being you aren't as good at it as you feel you should be, don't make this way to try to protect your peace, because there's a distant chance it's going to generate some stress. And that is exactly what you're trying to avoid at this point. Remember that you're looking for an easy win. Here's an equivalent of a dunking on a 7-foot goal. The other condition is that generally making this a routine. The difference between doing something to protect your peace occasionally is doing it every day is huge. This was something I learned during my football days. When I was getting ready for the game for practice, I always prepared myself the same way, getting dressed the same way, stretching the same way, going through my mental checklist the same way. Some might suggest this is robotically approach to things, but what I found was that preparing like this seriously set me up so I was ready to go. The actions themselves were getting me pumped. If you get into a routine of doing whatever you choose to do, perfect your peace, you will get an emotional boost. From that emotional boost will be your sign that you can handle anything that comes at you the rest of the day. There are effects to this, doing it every day, making it much stronger than it would be if you only did it some other time. I know that when criticism makes it impossible for me to do my routine on any given day, I can absolutely tell the difference. Another thing you can do to de-stress and be at peace would be, well, you can get a notebook and write down feelings, how you feel in that notebook for that day, how you feel emotionally. This is my makeup book, but just get something and write it down. I have a book here, or you can get a book every morning and sit there and start reading a book every morning. Like, grab a book and start reading a chapter every morning and see how you feel. My Life in Color. This is what I bought at Walgreens one year. And I wrote some stuff down in here, like I'm going to hide money in my makeup room, which I do have money in here hidden. I wrote down my goals. I make a goal. I even wrote down lip balms I'm collecting in this book. Makeup and palettes I want to get. New Year's resolutions for 2020. I wrote Christmas songs in here because I was in a Christmas thing singing Christmas songs. But as you can tell, there's so much. And then I have a shit list. And I did make a shit list of people who is on my shit list that don't want to be on my shit list, but I'm sorry, you're on my shit list. Don't worry. Nobody's going to know who's on my shit list unless they take that book, come in my office, and they grab that book and look at it. Then they'll know who's on my shit list. So, now, protecting your peace doesn't necessarily mean that you have to shut yourself from the rest of the world. While you have shut yourself from the rest of the world. Okay. While you are doing this, it also doesn't mean that you have to do it entirely alone. Doing something which with a loved one or a partner can be a great way to protect your peace. If you and a friend go for a run together first thing, that can be a really workout. Or maybe there's an exercise class that you love going to before you go to your job. During the school years, I drive Trenton to school, and we talked about his goals for the days and how he's going to achieve them. We both get a huge amount out of that, and it always gets my day off to a great start. The only challenge that comes with preparing your peace with someone else is avoiding things that don't protect your peace. If you're going for a run with a friend, require you to text her to make sure she's ready and then decide to spend a little time on Snapchat. Since you already have your phone out, come on with some of the ways to make your plan. If you're going to exercise class, you need to drive through heavy traffic, and that stresses you out. Maybe working out at home before going to work makes some more sense. When I'm driving Trenton to school, I always keep the conversation positive. This isn't the time to fill his head with doubts or warning. Protecting your peace can be a great thing to do with other people. Just make sure that these people are contributing to your peace and don't taking away from it, and that you're doing the same for them. And whether you're protecting your peace by yourself or with someone else, the other key tool is disconnecting. Get into the habit of disconnecting often and regular. If you, like me and the whole lot of other people in the world, you feel like you're supposed to be able all the time because you can be. Your phone's always needed to be nearby, and all of your notifications needs to be turned on. If the world wasn't to touch you, you think it should always be able to get over that. Be selfish for 5% of your day and disconnect completely from the outside world. Anyone who really needs to get you during the other 95% of the time and just stepping away for a while is extremely important, not just for yourself, but for those who need you to be the best you. Rehabber Frey. She's a single mom of 3 who had to transformation from being a wife to being a provider for a while. This meant working 2 jobs and pretty much living to work or started her own business. She was able to let go of the second job, but the industry of her work got way gathered. She was doing really good stuff, and she was creating a great home for her kids, but it was a lot. I found myself in a place where I was super drained, she told me. I was just tired emotionally. Around this time, Frey came to one of my speaking enchantments and completely connected with the importance of protecting her peace. I realized that I had to make protecting my peace a priority. The business involving in is a relationship business. So I deal with different politics and different backgrounds and different emotions. So I have to be contained. I can't let negative things happening around me affect me. And that was happening, and it was affecting my business and the way I was treating people. Frey commented to starting each day with a fresh start and attitude to gratitude. It is so easy for us to pick up the phone and check your social media feed. But that is instantly, but it is negative frequency before you even get out of bed. So I use the first moment wake up. I can range from 10 minutes all the way to an hour thanking God and having a one-on-one talk with Him. For me, sometimes I do talk to God. As some people would say, the toilet is my throne. When I'm in the bathroom, I close the door. I will talk to God. I've set my bedroom, laid in bed, and talked to God. I was sitting there one night. My husband was watching TV, and then all of a sudden, I started talking to God about the coronavirus and please help, these people that have it, make them well, don't make them sick, help these people. And my husband thought I was crazy. But then he started praying with me. And he said, let's hold hands and pray together. So we started praying together. And right then and there, it just touched my heart. I felt really good about it. So I thought it was good. I have any inspirational music or motivation audio, or I might even read a couple of pages in a professional development book. Okay, this is still talking about Frey, so we're not going to go ahead and finish reading about Frey, but it keeps talking about her. But you have to be selfish with yourself, especially when you have goals, especially when you want to impact lives. You have kids, and you want to impact your kids' life. So, as for me talking to my husband, I told my husband, I want to sit in bed with you at night, and I'd like to read the Bible with you. And he says, okay, which we have not done yet. But he's very excited that I am reading books on YouTube. And next, I'm going to be getting into some other books when this one's over. And I'm almost done with this book. I think I got like three more chapters. We have 3 more chapters to go, 3 or 4. But I would love to say a great thank you to Trent for writing this book and doing things. Given ideas, maybe you could come up with an idea. Maybe you could write a book someday. Who knows? If you're new to my channel, I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, guys, I love you. Hope you have a wonderful, blessed day. And don't forget to hit the notification bell if you want to be notified of more videos. Until next time, guys, I love you and bye.